I'm here on Granville Island with TJ Dawe, starring in a monologue called Lucky 9 for this year's Vancouver Fringe Festival. Welcome to another Fringe Festival. You've brought a variety of productions to life here and around the globe. I'm wondering if you could describe your current performance.
Yes, Lucky 9 is an autobiographical monologue about how I used the books of Vancouver Dr. Dawe.mov, who writes about things like stress and addiction and ADD, as well as the HBO TV series The Wire, as well as the personality type system, the Enneagram, to learn more things about myself and to reach out to other people, quite specifically my family.
And so it's performing in a coffee house. It's an interesting choice for a venue.
Yeah, that tells you something about what happens at Fringe festivals. They try and get as many theater spaces as they can in a compact area, and sometimes they'll convert something that isn't a theater into a theater. In this case, a coffee grinding company. They don't serve coffee, but they sell it. So there are big sacks of fresh coffee beans from all over the world.
Must smell
coffee.
Great.
It smells incredible, and I don't even like coffee. The audience is going to be sitting next to great big bulging sacks that say coffee.
Interesting. So the show is playing several times, evenings, days, afternoons. It sounds like it's going to be a great audience. Are you expecting a variety of people? What is your typical audience for a play like this?
The Fringe attracts a really broad variety of people. So I've been touring this across the Fringe circuit. This is my 5th city so far, and I sometimes will have teenagers, and I'll have retirees, and I'll have everything in between. It's really nice to get a broad cross-section of people, because in my shows I talk about autobiographical experiences and I make them as specific to my life as I can. And it's incredible how often people come up to me after the show and say that they relate to it, that they've gone through something similar, or they want to tell me their stories that are parallel. And this can come from an old person, this can come from a high schooler. You can never tell.
So it's nice to have a play that invites a little bit of discussion. It's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How does this differ from other shows you've done?
It's shorter. For the last 10 years, I've had a very difficult time writing shows that are less than 90 minutes. I seem to be an hour and a half man. In this show, 60. And in my previous shows, what I kind of realized after the fact from doing this one was in my previous shows, I felt the need to say everything and to connect everything. And in this show, I went the opposite direction. I left a lot of things deliberately unconnected so that the audience would do that themselves. And that's actually worked, because what's happened with this show, probably more than any previous show, is it's generated a lot of discussion. People want to come up and talk to me about the different things I bring up, the different books I mentioned, the Enneagram personality type system. They want to talk about what their type might be based on the way I described it, or what their experience with watching The Wire has been, or the way they've connected or failed to connect with their family. I invite that. I don't say that explicitly in the show, but the way the show is structured it's meant to encourage that, and it seems to be working. So I think it's a good idea to leave room for the audience to make their own interpretations, to make their own connections. It makes them participants in a way that they're not used to being. Has
this show been going on through different fringes through the Canadian circuit, or?
Yes, I opened it actually at an American Fringe, the Orlando Fringe, and that was in May. And then did it at Toronto, and then Edmonton, and just came from the Victoria Fringe. And it's just about to open here in Vancouver.
Excellent. Well, Lucky 9's playing at Origins Organic Coffee on the island during this year's Vancouver Fringe Festival. Thank you very much for your time, TJ. It was lovely to meet you, and have a great Fringe.
Thanks. Happy to be a part of it.